Good evening. Tonight I bring you two Glitchinthematrix experiences. Have you ever strolled into what seems like a ghost town? Let me recount their experience. Now sit back and relax. Author name, Milek. Story title, accidentally stumbled into a creepy, seemingly ghost town. Still can't find it to this day. About 3 years ago, my boyfriend and I were big into urban exploring and driving around to explore the area we live in. We had just started dating at this point and had gone on previous adventures and escapades. However, neither of us had ever had something like this happen before. On a cool autumn night, about half hour before sundown, we were taking one of our usual explorative drives around our county. We were laughing and making jokes, driving around and trying to find abandoned buildings to photograph and explore. At some point, we had taken a back road that neither of us had noticed or been down before. As we drove down the road, in an excited bewilderment of what we might discover, we came upon a very small town. And I say small, meaning a row of dilapidated-looking houses, an old convenience store, and a seemingly modern church. We started conversing, stating how neither of us had ever been to this little town or heard of it. While driving down the roadway, my boyfriend and I noticed that there were no cars, no people, no lights on, nothing indicative of people living there. As we passed the church, the roadway led out to a different road, and there was a large pond directly in front of us. We began discussing how strange it was that the town seemed empty, abandoned, almost as if it were a little ghost town. That's when we heard it. At that moment, the entire town was serenaded with extremely loud church music and church bells. My boyfriend and I both looked at each other with slight panic and confusion. We decided to get out of the car and walk around a little bit, as the area appeared deserted. The music continued, which I can only assume was coming from the church, but it filled the town with such an eerie ambience. I walked towards the church and saw that there was a sign near the entrance. Ironically and creepily enough, the sign read, Pleasant Valley Church. At that moment, I got an unsettling feeling. As my boyfriend continued to walk around and look at the houses with a great amount of skepticism, I called out to him, "Hey, I think we probably should go." My boyfriend jogged over and agreed. "This is really weird. Let's get the fuck out of here." We both got back into the car and drove away from this strange, otherworldly town in silence. After a few moments, my boyfriend broke the silence. "Well, that was weird." I nodded and thought about how odd that experience had been. Maybe we should see if we can find this place again. Perhaps it's just a weird little town and no one was home. Who knows? About a week or so later, my boyfriend and I went out to one of our adventures and drove around. We both decided to try and find the ghost town again. I can't tell you how many countless hours we spent driving around our county for months, tirelessly trying to find this place. But we never did. And we still never have. Neither of us know or really can explain what exactly happened that evening, but it always chills me to recount the story, knowing that this little town at the edge of the woods seemed to just disappear. Personal thoughts. I think eerie is a very apt description for this, primarily because you can't find the town anymore. I wonder, have you tried using Google Maps? Most phones now will automatically track your position. I know with Google Android they've been doing this for a while, perhaps even the 3 years ago where this happened. If you know where you were exactly, even just the roads you were traveling, maybe you can try to use the satellite imaging to pinpoint where the town is. But then maybe it really did just disappear. Or was it ever really there to begin with? Was it an imprint or something? I don't know. Author name: Sick McNasty. Story title: I Met My Future Self? Maybe. Backstory. This is important for later. For about 9 months or so, I was planning to move to California last September. Plans fell through due to financial reasons, and other opportunities had come my way. This happened to me while I was at work, closing, so I was completely alone. A customer came in. He was maybe in his early 60s. I'm 21. I wouldn't say he looked like me, but he was definitely dressed similar to me. And that's how I'd expect myself to dress at that age. Kinda old man surly, SoCal vibes. But this guy says, "Man, I need some caffeine. I know it's late, but I've been consuming that stuff daily since I was a little kid." I told him, "Me too. Since I was about 8, I started drinking coffee," which is a fact about me. This guy continues to talk about how he loves the music I was playing in the store, etc. Then, out of the blue, this guy says, "Why do you choose not to move to California?" I didn't mention California to this man at all. I've never met this man. I don't know who he is or how he knew. None of my coworkers, or really anyone besides my family, knew about my plans for California. I served him his drink, and as we walked out, he said, "You'll go. Maybe not now, but you'll love that place." Again, I never spoke about California to him, but he knew I was planning to move there, and he knew I loved the place. He walked out, and I have not seen him since. I asked my parents and anyone who knew about my plans if they had told anyone, more specifically an older man. They all said no, per my request to keep it on the down low. To this day, I'm still in awe. Personal thoughts. That is quite strange, isn't it? I guess it's possible that he just got a vibe from you. Maybe you embody California. I don't know. The whole hipster skater thing? Maybe. Could just be a guess, but very odd indeed. Especially that he also looked like you, maybe a bit, and dressed like you. Maybe it actually was you. Although if it was, why didn't he give you more advice? Would that be forbidden in the time travel rules? Maybe.